Skin that smoke wagon and see what happens.
How's that for a slice of fried gold?
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't know how this machine worked.
It seems to run on some form of electricity.
And it was wrong. It was a bad call, Ripley. It was a bad call.
Bad call.
Some are good for fighting, others for dying.
Welcome back to another episode of It's Just Two Movies. Do you like movies? I do. I'm your host, Daniel King. With me this evening is a good friend I haven't seen in a couple of weeks, Mr. Birdman.
Hey, yo. I'm here. He's back.
How you been, Bird?
Good.
Doing okay?
Yeah, the same as I was last time, I think.
Okay, that's
Doing absolutely nothing. And
I feel like you had did you have like a hard mustache
time
I saw you?
Yeah, I had
lost
the hard
mustache.
I lost it. I got home one day and I just
set it down at
set
work.
It down and
set it down at work and I don't know what the fuck happened to it. Okay, so let's just go ahead and dive into it. I do want to say we're creeping up on 10 episodes. Just to let you guys know, I have recorded 7 episodes of the show already when the show comes out. So when you get to first listen to the show, this is the last episode I recorded. So eventually I want to put in like news and corrections and things like that. But you're not going to fucking get it for a while. So just fucking wait.
be patient.
Yeah. So we're going to talk about 2 movies. If you're not familiar with the show, we're going to talk about what at least one of us thinks is a good movie. And then we're going to watch a real piece of shit that has some sort of common theme to it while we're having a couple of drinks. After we're good and sauced and have seen said bad film, we're going to come back and chit-chat with you about it.
Yeah.
And then maybe see if, in our great armchair director wisdom, if we could, if we have some ideas that, maybe make it a better movie.
Or we'll just shit on it for 30 minutes.
We can shit on it. Yeah, we can shit on them too. So this week I picked a movie. I picked a movie that I saw a couple of years ago, and I really liked it, called Sorry to Bother You.
Yeah, we have both seen this movie, which I don't know if that's the case with the movies that we've done. I don't.
Most of them, I don't think so. Or if
Yeah.
I did, it was like I watched it, like half asleep several years ago. So I really didn't remember much about it.
Right. Yeah. So we both saw this one. I think probably right when it came out. If I'm remembering.
Well, I saw it.
Because it was 2018. If it was,
I think I rented it when it was available for rent, and then the next time I watched it, I was like, "Oh, it's on Hulu." Click.
Yeah.
So just rewatched it because I liked it.
Yeah, I think I just streamed it.
So I am totally unprepared this week.
Okay.
Do you happen to have the director, cast,
So
market information
Yeah.
for the box office? You got all that?
I've got a few things here.
Okay.
Directed by Boots Riley.
Mm-hmm.
This is his first film.
My boy Boots.
Boots. I worked with Boots. Boots, yeah. So it's his first directorial debut.
Did a lot of sound work. Worked on a lot of audio tracks.
Did he?
For tons of movies.
Okay, I did not know that.
Yeah.
So let's see. This was a 2018 film. The budget was. Do you know what the budget was?
I honestly did not have time to look up any of this. I was
Okay.
doing a ton of editing this week.
If you were to guess,
If I had to guess how much that movie cost for cast alone, I'd say $30 million.
really,
Maybe. I mean,
cast alone, that's high. That's real high.
There's so many good people in it.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. $3.2 million
Wow. So they did it for free.
for free. Yep.
Wow.
Somebody gave them $3 million. No. And the worldwide box office was 18 million. So they made
That's a net profit film then?
Yeah, they made.
Good. I wish it would have made way more than that.
Yeah. Honestly, that number surprised me though. The 3.2 million.
What year did this come out?
2018.
Was it 2018? Wouldn't think you could make such a star-studded film in 2018, or have more of those actors gotten so much bigger since then? Was that like a good exposure film? Because what's his name? Is it Lakeith Stanfield?
Yeah, so Lakeith Stanfield.
He's in fucking all kinds of shit, and
Yeah.
he's killing it. He's just crushing it and everything.
Well, I feel like this was maybe a big breakout film for him.
Yeah, I mean, it's a good film for it. He's got an amazing performance all the way through it.
Because he was in Uncut Gems after this.
Yep.
He was in Knives Out.
Yep.
Same year, 2019.
Get Out, or was that prior to
He
this?
was in Get Out. It's been so long since I've seen that, though. I don't remember his part in that film.
He's like the first black guy you see that's been like inhabited by like an old white person. He's like wearing the hat, and he's like, "Oh, well, thank you very much."
Is he?
And the guy's like, "Hey, brother, what's going on, man?" And he I don't know. He starts to get sick, or he throws up, or pisses himself. I don't remember. It's been a while. I fucking love that movie though.
He was in Snowden, which I haven't seen.
I've seen Snowden. I don't remember what he was in it.
Straight Outta Compton. So he has been in some stuff before Sorry to Bother You, but
okay.
I think that's whenever you and I first saw him.
Yeah,
I was like, oh shit, this guy's. He's
fairly
good.
Yeah, I'm fairly certain. I might have had like a like seen him and go, oh yeah, I've seen that guy and stuff, and then watched Sorry to Bother You, and then was like, that guy's awesome.
Yeah, Lakeith. Yeah, and we also have Tessa Thompson, who is beautiful.
Tessa Thompson, yeah,
and she's great. She's in so many good
she
movies.
Really is. It's weird she's not British. That sounds like the most British name. Oh, and they sees me bed.
And we'll come back to that because yeah, she's not. She was in Creed, 2015. She was Valkyrie.
Didn't see it. Here it's good.
Yeah, Creed. I didn't see it
she's
either.
Valkyrie in the Marvel universe.
Yep,
I'm familiar with that.
She was in Annihilation, which I really enjoyed.
She is in Annihilation. Yeah, that's a pretty good flick.
Yeah, got a lot of shit. I think a lot of people kind of picked it apart too much.
Well, it's one of those things. My mom's a big literary type, loves to read. She read the book, liked the book, couldn't sit through the movie. But she doesn't really watch movies in the first place. You know what I mean? She'll watch like one or two here or there, but it's just really not her bag.
From what I've seen, both got a lot of flack. The books and I guess there's only been one movie because it's a 3-part series as far as the books.
I guess it's like a PT Cruiser situation. You know what I mean? You either just think it's super sweet or you're like, that's fucking dumb.
Yeah, man, PT Cruiser. That's a thing. That's a thing. We also have Omari Hardwick.
Omari's nice.
As Mr. Blank.
Yeah, because they name him one time and they bleep it out.
We also have some great actors here. Terry Crews as Lakeith, and I'm going to call him Cash throughout this because his full name is Cassius, right?
Cassius.
Cassius.
Cassius Green.
Yep. We have Danny Glover.
Yep.
Great performance from Danny Glover. Oh, Stephen Yen.
Yeah, Stephen. He's popped up on the show a couple of times recently. Haven't we talked about Stephen Yen like 3 times now?
Maybe once or twice.
We haven't done this much of it. I didn't know I was a big fan of his, but I guess
I
guess I'm a huge fan of him because he's just in all the movies that I like.
From obviously Walking Dead fame.
Yeah,
started good, but we all know how that.
Yep.
And then finally, well, I shouldn't say finally. There's a few more. There's a few more names. Yeah. And this guy's name cracks me up. Armie Hammer.
Yeah, Armie Hammer's an amazing actor. He's in all kinds of shit.
But and the name just like
he also has a fucking great role in this.
Yeah.
Which we'll go ahead and get into. Is there any other cast you want to go over?
There's a few voices that we'll get to the voices.
Yeah, we'll touch on it when we get there. So, movie opens up at a job interview where you've got Lakeith Stanfield. He's sitting in front of a manager. In his hands, he's got like a fake plaque, and then he's got a giant trophy. So he brings all this weird shit in there
to his interview.
Yeah, to his job interview. And the manager, he's looking at the stuff, and he calls him out on his bullshit.
Oh, yeah, like immediately he calls him out.
I worked at the bank where you have brought the plaque with you that you were employee of the month.
You didn't work there.
I worked at that bank. You didn't work there, but it does tell me everything I need to know about you. You have initiative and you can read. You're hired. So it's just right out of the first 30 seconds of this movie are funny. It lets you know right out of the gate, this is a comedy.
Because, I mean, it's a call center. And I think he says, we don't give a shit. We'll hire anybody. Like, it's just a call center.
Yeah, I can attest to that. I worked in a call center for like 6 years. It's a long time. Talked to a lot of fucking retards. And by fucking retards, I mean the general public. And if you're listening, I might be talking about you. Probably not though. Not you. You're smart.
You're fine.
You're irreverent.
You're a really good person.
People hang on every word that you say and have all the time in the world to talk to you. Anyway, moving on. All right, so right after the scene, he gets the job. He's all psyched, and it immediately lifts the veil of comedy and reveals that there's like talks about these philosophical struggles that everybody goes through. You know, like what happens when I die? What did I do with my life? And then he's laying in bed with his girlfriend, and then immediately right back to comedy because a garage door opens. And you can see that he's like living in someone's garage with his girlfriend. And someone's like, get a fucking room. He's like, I got a room.
That's a great moment.
Yeah, that's really good stuff. It does a fantastic job of going back and forth between the two. And the whole arc of the film is ingrained with all these little things. Like, you know, everything that you do is going to be some sort of, societal philosophical question. Yeah. It's hard to go through life thinking shit like that all the time.
Oh, for sure.
It is difficult, and it's easy for a good man or woman or, you know, whatever pronoun for a good person to go through and just one time just go, man, maybe I want to look out for myself instead of worrying about what's right and what's wrong and blah 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 blah. And then the consequences of that one action in this weird like macabre sci-fi world.
Yeah, because it's an alternate present day Oakland, you know.
Right.
And it is definitely different. And we see that with a commercial from Worry Free, this company called Worry Free.
Yeah, so it looks like it's some sort of like optional communism cult. Like you like sign a contract for work in exchange for like food and housing. So whatever alternate world this is in Oakland, California, the quote unquote market has fucking plummeted to nothing.
Yeah.
Or the super rich have become super richer and the poor have become super poorer.
Yeah, like the middle class is now just poor.
Super poor. Like can't pay the bills. Somebody's coming to take his house. Like his uncle. His uncle who you see in the movie, played by
Terry Crews.
Terry Crews.
What is his name in the Sergio?
Sergio, yeah. So he's talking to his uncle Sergio, and he's like, you know, Terry Crews pokes his head out the window. You don't know it's his uncle yet, and he's like, hey, you're 4 months behind on rent, and he's like, I just got a job, going to it now. I'll get you paid soon. I said, that's all I ever hear is soon. Because, you know, the problem is greedy people like you want to take everything for yours and your family while you leave everybody else out to just struggle. And he's like, oh, me and my family, huh? Cassius, I'm your fucking uncle. You know, it's good. It's great to see Terry Crews in there. He's a delight.
I love Terry Crews.
He's got some really good bits every time he pops on screen, too.
Yeah, definitely.
So he gets in this piece of shit car, and I mean...
that his uncle bought him.
Listen. I've driven some piles in my day.
Yeah.
And, buddy,
this is
nothing like that.
No.
Nah. Remember I had that old white Toyota Corolla we used to call Grandma Death? If I could just start violently shaking at 55 miles an hour.
This is close to, his car is close to the Beater. The Beater 3.
Oh, the B3?
B3.
Yeah. So one of our friends bought a car for $100 one time when we were in high school. Was it $300?
It was probably like, it was
next to
less.
nothing.
It was less than $500 for sure.
I mean, drove this thing through the fucking gates of hell. He took it off a bridge.
Yep.
Into a stream.
Yep.
Got it out.
Drove it to school.
Took it all apart. Took the whole car apart.
Yeah.
Put it back together. Put some more oil in it. And fired right up. Just would not die.
And I remember he let another friend borrow it to deliver pizzas. This friend got pulled over. The cop said, if I ever see you in this car again, I'm taking you to jail.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Oh, that's fucking great.
I won't drop names, but yeah, that's a true story.
Yeah, that's fucking great. I know who you're talking about, so it doesn't matter. Anyway, this guy's got a real piece of shit car. I mean, it's like, it's smoking. It's got like the bead seat covers. It's got like, it's 4 different colors.
And he stops to get gas, and this fucking cracks me up. Yeah. He goes up to the window, and he throws 40 cents at the lady.
Yeah, he's like 40 on 2.
40 on 2. 40 cents, like... I don't think that's
how you're broke as fuck. You probably pulled that out of the couch cushions.
We've both pulled up to a pump and seen like $1 $1.50.
Oh, yeah.
$5.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, that sucks. You
Yeah.
know, I feel for those people, but 40 fucking cents.
Dude, I was like that for half my life. Not 40 cents, but, you know, let me get like $3.
Yeah, $3.
Cash's manager has got to be the sleaziest looking piece of shit I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, this dude looks like he just got out of prison.
Yeah, he really does look like he's got like a
Like he's not a hard ass or anything.
No, he's got like a back of the neck tattoo.
He's got like a couple face tattoos.
Yeah, he's real gross
Slimy,
looking.
just
very greasy.
looks like a piece of shit.
Yeah, it sure does.
And I think he is really just from seeing him, in the film.
He says a lot of really fucking funny stuff too.
Yeah, he does.
A lot of his dialogue's really I don't know. He's got to be a pretty good actor though, because I bought that hook, line, and sinker and didn't even think about it twice.
Yeah, no, he's a good. Yeah, he's got hooks for sure. I do want to say, so Cash gets to his desk. It's his first day, and the camera pans to some plaques on the wall. We see it's called the Hal Jameson Wall of Glory. Did you notice this?
I did, but I didn't take a look at it.
So I paused it.
I knew you would.
The first pic's like just a picture of Hal on his phone, and I guess he used to be a badass at this company. The second pic is Hal with a golden phone. The third pic is Hal with Ronald Reagan.
I noticed the Reagan picture, yeah.
And then the final pic is Hal with a stripper. That tops Ronald Reagan, I guess.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So they get him through it, and they're they get him on the phone. They're like, follow the script.
Yeah, always stick to the script.
So they do this really cool conceptual way that they shoot this next scene, where every time he pushes call on his computer, he like drops through a ceiling into somebody's house.
Like he's there,
and you can see the people also, but he's talking to him on the phone.
Yeah.
He meets all these various people. There's like one guy that's like banging his old lady, maybe, or a hooker, or maybe the lady's banging the guy. Who knows? I don't know what's going on. But there's another one where it's like an old lady, and she's like, "No, my husband just died of breast cancer or something.
Whatever.
My husband died of something." But really cool scene. I like the way they shot it. I like the way his desk is like falling through all the different.
Yeah. So what would you call this? Like as far as, are these hallucinations? Is this something that...
This is just part of the weird sci-fi world he lives in.
Okay. And the whole time that he's calling these people and he's getting hung up on, in the background at the call center, I don't know if you noticed this, but the copy machine, like it's in a separate room behind...
There's papers.
It's just papers fucking flying everywhere.
All over the place.
The copy machine's fucked up. There's like 3 guys in the room. I don't know what the fuck's going on. Like,
yeah, I did notice that.
That cracked me up.
Yeah, so he gets through his first workday, and man, honestly, you can tell how if that's your job, that's what you have to do to pay your bills. You can pretty quickly and easily see what a sad and frustrating thing that is if you're not having a good day. You can have a good day, but that's your kind of your everyday. Is that?
Yeah, and that's it's his first day. It's going to be shitty.
Right.
But, like you said, most days are probably going to be...
Yeah, like that.
Like that, unless you're really fucking good.
Right, which he does eventually get there. We'll get there, though. So he gets off of work, he goes to the bar, he has a couple of drinks with his buddies, and he's like, oh, I've never seen that room over there. He's like, oh, it's a VIP room. Yeah. He's like, oh, fucking weird. And he tells him what the password is, so he goes up there, and he gets exposed to it. He goes in the VIP room, and just... briefly, he gets a drink spilled on him. He comes back out. He's like, man, that's baller in there.
That cracked me up.
I think it's important to show that maybe Cash had never been in something like that his whole life.
I don't think so.
And then he was in there for a couple of minutes, and he's like, that's fucking sick. So it gave him a little tiny taste of that like luxurious existence that he craves, that kind of pushes him to make the rest of the story happen.
Yeah, I think so. And at first I thought he left so quickly because he wasn't digging it at all.
He would look to me like he was like, I'm fucking quitting tomorrow. If tomorrow's the same thing, I'm out.
Yeah. But yeah, he leaves the VIP, ball and shit. He loves it. Gets a taste.
Titties in his face.
So the next day at work, it's not going well.
It's not. Yeah, he's starting to get frustrated again.
But he gets a little bit of advice.
Oh, that's from your boy Danny Glover.
This is where we see our boy Danny Glover.
Yep.
He explains to him that he has to use his white voice.
Yeah, and he's like, people say I talk white anyway. He's like, no, not like that.
Not like this.
Anyway, he gives him the spiel about how, like, what it is a confident voice that white people is who they're targeting, but I would think anyone in general wishes that they sounded. It's how they think they should sound, are supposed to sound.
Confident.
Yeah, just confident, very sure of yourself, that sort of thing. Not pushy.
And especially with a job like this.
Right, you're working in a call center selling encyclopedias.
You're selling whatever,
Which, I can tell right out of the gate that old Boots is probably not too far off my age level because I remember traveling encyclopedia salesman.
I think he was a little further than you think. I think he was born
in his mid-40s?
I think he was born in the early 70s.
What?
Yeah.
Boots, baby.
Boots, baby, where you been?
Shh. All right.
Yeah, I think he was born in 71.
Yeah, you get your sweet Danny Glover. Who does the voice acting for Danny Glover?
I don't think the
Rosario Dawson is the voice in the elevator.
The elevator, yeah.
I hope you did not masturbate. We need you sharp. Damn, man, I tried to look it up because his name's Langston. Hey, Mr. Smith, this is Langston from Regalview.
Go a little bit further and see if I can find it, but...
Okay, well, we'll try to come back to it if we can. But Danny Glover, gives him the breakdown. Danny Glover does his white voice thing. It is, for all intents and purposes, it's very funny.
Oh, Ryan Corsi?
Ryan Corsi? I'll take it. He's got a fun voice.
He's got a fun voice.
Hey, Mr. Johnson.
Yeah, it looks like he's just, and this is maybe where he knows Boots. He's a sound guy, sound department most of the time.
Okay, yeah.
So that's probably knows Boots.
Next scene is they go into like a work meeting, which I've been in things like this, and they have a new, she like the HR lady? I don't remember her position.
I think she just says she's a new manager.
Yeah, her name's Miss Janet Debauchery.
Diana Debauchery.
Diana Debauchery. She writes it on the board, and it just says Diana Debauchery, which is pretty good stuff. Anyway, they're going through it, and the manager, the sleazy-looking manager guy, he starts with this metaphor, like comparing dead bodies and toe tags to sales and bad calls.
Yeah,
it's fucking, he's reaching a bit with that one.
It's called bag and tag.
Bag and tag.
That's what he calls it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a pretty graphic. I mean, not I don't know, just what he's saying.
Yeah.
He gets a little deep into it.
Yeah, they're talking all kinds of numbers and shit. And this is off topic, but I did start to wonder here so much that I put a note in about it. I wonder how productive outbound call centers and like outbound call centers that make solicitations, how profitable can those be? Like we were talking before the show about robocalls and shit like that.
Yeah.
I mean, it's put everybody in the point of like, even with caller ID and now on cell phones, there's so much spam. How would you like call somebody and sell them a physical thing?
Yeah.
Or life insurance or a fucking appointment at an eye doctor or whatever it is you're selling.
Right. I wonder how rare that is now.
Doesn't seem to be in short order.
Well, I mean, to see a company that calls other people to sell encyclopedia, like,
yeah,
that seems like
weird.
A thing of the 90s or something.
Yeah, sure does.
I don't know.
At one point, he's talking to his girlfriend. He's leaving work that day. He references to when he was in high school, and he says, man, just look at our high school football team. And then the camera pans and they're just in the street. They're grown men in the street wearing like full pads, like in a ruck, like, rah!
Yeah.
That's fucking so funny, man. Like a lot of this stuff observationally is fucking gold.
Yeah. There's a lot of stuff, just a lot of little bits, that you just, like side bits that you see in the background that are really funny.
So they get to the beer, they get to the bar and they see a worry-free commercial, or we see it. I don't think they watch it, but it shows us. You kind of get, it's like a news expose. Yeah, so we get to see a commercial about worry-free, and you kind of get to learn a little bit more about what it is. And nose on the head, it is kind of like an optional communism cult sort of thing.
They make it look nice and pretty, though.
Yeah, so they're all around the table, him and a couple of his coworkers. His best friend is his girl. and he prepares to make a toast, and then he does his white voice, and everybody's like, whoa, what was that?
The fuck is that?
Which would be impressive if I was sitting around a table with anyone I'd ever met in my life, and then they just stood up and made a toast in perfect David Cross voice. I would be equally as impressed. No, so it's really great.
And it's weird. I think before he does that, they're all just talking about spaghetti. What the?
Yeah.
Like how to prepare spaghetti.
What country it's originally from. She's like, spaghetti's Chinese or whatever she says.
Yeah, that's Detroit. That's Cash's girlfriend, by the way.
Yeah, again, played by
Tessa Thompson.
Tessa Thompson, thank you. I think him making this toast really kind of sets his character arc off. And then, they go home and all that good stuff. The next day he wakes up, he's getting dressed, he's going to work. He sees his uncle out in the yard. And Terry Crews is saying how far behind he is on his bills, and the bank's going to take his house. And he's wearing like a gold chain with a crucifix on it. And this fucking thing, this crucifix got to be like 18 inches tall. It's humongous.
And he mentions, his diabetes
like,
is
making my
acting
diabetes flare up.
Yeah.
And he opens it. It's like a Pez. You twist Jesus's head, and it's like a Pez comes out the bottom. It's just fucking...
Dude, that was fucking funny. I wonder what that was.
Somebody found that, and they're like, this is going in the movie.
I wonder what that was. Was that like it was like a sugar pill or something? You know what I mean? Like, because he's like, my diabetes is acting up, and then he like
a little
immediately...
glucose pill or something?
Right.
I had no idea. So, get back to Cassius at work. He's doing the white voice. He's fucking nailing it. Things are looking up. Then the night they go at the bar, Danny Glover kind of hints to Cassius, again, played by Lakeith Stanfield, that the power callers that they've been referring to the whole time. They're like, hey, if you do well here, you can be a power caller. Hey, if you do well here, you can be a power caller, blah, blah, blah.
Right.
So he's like, oh man, power callers make the real money. So he's talking to Danny Glover's character and telling him that, power callers, what they're selling is a little more sinister.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't really hint anything else at it. He's just like, it's not good stuff.
Yeah, we don't really get the full story there. But yeah, Cash wants to make money, which hence the name.
So he can have that baller VIP room shit.
That's right. We also, like, throughout all this, we meet Steven Yeun's character, Squeeze. And Squeeze is very concerned about the company.
He's trying to unionize them.
He's trying to unionize. He wants his fellow coworkers to get paid, which they deserve. That comes into play a little bit later.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, sure does. Also, just quickly wanted to interject. Tessa Thompson's character, Detroit, has had these rad fucking earrings the length of the whole movie. She has different fucking crazy earrings in every I don't know scene. Is it almost every scene?
It's very close. I want to say it's something like 10 scenes. Maybe I'm like a little high there, but
it's quite a bit.
It's awesome. Like I love seeing all of her different earrings, and she's also wearing a shirt. In one of the earlier scenes we were talking about, it says the future is female ejaculation. I don't know if you noticed that.
It's fucking great. I tried to look at one or two of them. I couldn't really see it. I was also watching it on my phone. So
yeah.
So yeah, she's had really rad ones. And I'm sure that her earrings somehow are relevant to the arc of the film.
I think,
but I can't quite put my finger on what it is.
I think some of them are references.
It's got to be. I bet you it's something in regards to. Well, her character doesn't really have an arc. She's true to her shit the whole time.
Right. I think because I saw, in just a little bit of the trivia that I looked at, at one point she wears a pair of earrings that say, on one side, bury the rag. Mm-hmm. And on the other side it says "Deep in Your Face," which are their lyrics from "The Lonesome Death of Hattie Carroll" by Bob Dylan.
Love me some hidden Dylan references. Which
is a protest song about poor African American women murdered by a wealthy white man.
Oh shit! You know what about Bob Dylan lyrics in artwork? It's also in The Watchmen, which I am reading right now.
Oh,
or
yeah.
Excuse me. Yeah, just Watchmen.
Just Watchmen.
I know. Don't fucking at me about that.
Don't at me.
And then she's got earrings that are like little glittery dicks, and then ones that are like men in electric chairs. She's got some fucking cool earrings, and I just thought it was at least worth mentioning.
Yeah.
So Steven Yeun, again, as you said, plays Squeeze. He has kind of orchestrated a strike to unionize the employees. Cassius is given an opportunity here to choose between being an agent of the people and the change that society needs. Society on his level, it's just his workplace, but societally speaking, it's needed throughout.
At first, he tries to play both sides at first, I think, because they organize a protest at work, and they say essentially, phones down for 20 minutes.
Yeah.
We're not working. And
that success with him using his white voice is what even makes this a difficult decision.
Yeah.
Because I think pre-VIP room Cash wouldn't have thought twice about this choice. He wouldn't have caved in for his own personal benefit. Now that he's had success and sees potential to have all the things that he so desperately wants, he's trying to play both sides. Yeah,
he would have, I think, like you said, I think he originally would have sided with his friends, his coworkers, you know. So they do this protest. Cash is called into the office, the boss's office, which is absolutely just fucking
kind of gross.
It's just a mess. Like, that's the boss.
There's papers all over the
I get that they're on the lower level, whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just a fucking mess. The boss is in there, and I guess both of the supervisors or whatever they are.
One's the HR lady. What's the other one?
I know he's like the supervisor.
I know he momentarily sees the football team in there, which I thought was weird. Just as high school football team shows up in a meeting, and that's why real quick.
That's why I wondered if some of those scenes are hallucinations or why those characters are included. They just like suddenly pop in to certain scenes.
Maybe they're just the theater of the mind.
Maybe
it's a look inside his theater of his mind.
His mind.
Yeah.
He's
visualizing things that aren't there. So he sees like his boys cheering him on, like, do it, Cash.
Yeah. So he essentially, or originally, he thinks he's going to get fired,
right?
Because he goes along with the protest, but he's been doing so well at work that they offer him a promotion, which he's been working to get to, the power callers.
Right. He gets it.
He gets it.
He goes into work the next day. The HR lady, she comes to greet him at the entrance to the elevator. He's only ever taken the stairs. The elevator's like solid gold at the end of the hallway or whatever.
Yeah.
So she comes to greet him, and she's like very obviously trying to have sex with him.
Oh, she wants to fuck this dude hard.
She wants to fuck him real hard because he's a power caller. He's
a stud. He's a baller. He's a power caller baller.
Yeah, she drops panties for power callers. No problem. And then she gets him in the elevator. She's like, "Oh, you look really good. Your suit looks really nice. I just love your hair." And then she's punching in the code for the elevator to get it to go before.
God,
it's like
dude.
60 digits long. It's just like, sorry. It's a bit where it just takes forever.
Security.
And then she eventually does it. The elevator starts going. And it's like, "You are a handsome man. When you piss in a public urinal, other people want to hold your penis." And the elevator is voiced by Rosario Dawson,
which is fucking hilarious. That's so good.
It's very funny stuff.
So they get upstairs, and Cash meets his new, I guess it's his boss, right?
Yeah, I think it's like his manager,
manager,
to speak.
Supervisor, whatever.
Played by Omari Hardwick.
Yep.
Because he's white voice all the time upstairs.
Yeah.
White voice all the time upstairs.
You gotta use your white voice.
He's voiced by Patton Oswalt. And he's got a fucking amazing like hat, mustache, chops, and eye patch combo going on.
Dude, it looks badass.
And because it's like a hat on a hat on a hat on a hat. And then I looked up the director, and man, he's kind of got Boots facial hair stuff going on. Like he's got the same kind of chops and goatee thing.
Okay.
Yeah, look him up.
I'm about to. I did not. I guess I didn't make that. Oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's totally got that.
Same facial accessory.
Boots.
It's an outstanding, like, gigantic, like, mutton pork chops.
It's awesome.
It's awesome. Mutton pork chops into a fucking sweet... Is it a goatee or a mustache? It's a goatee, isn't it?
I think it's just a mustace.
I think it's just a mustache?
There's no goatee.
Is it mustache and goatee?
No, there's no goatee.
No combo. All right. That's been our new segment, Facial Hair Talk.
It's badass, man. If I could pull something off like that, I mean, you could, but...
I'd fucking... Well...
Might have to.
Folks, we'll be right back. So he looks fucking great. It bizarrely fits with his whole look.
Yeah.
Because it's a whole lot of stuff at once. You're like, okay, that's that fucking crazy guy. Omar Hardwick's character, who is unnamed, drops the bomb that power callers essentially sell weapons, human labor, and this worry-free service.
Yep.
Lakeith Stanfield, his character, Cash, he's not about that until they show him the salary. And he's like, well, I got to get me some new suits.
Yeah. They show him the salary. He is all in.
Oh, yeah. So, hard cut scene out of that to Steven Yeun trying to hit on Tessa Thompson.
Oh, man. He's trying to move in on Cash's girl,
trying
Detroit.
to get up in Tessa's knickers. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And he's like, hey, let me see. She's twirling a sign. He's like, hey, let me see that sign. And he's just a fucking sign ninja.
He's a badass,
like the most badass sign twirling you've ever seen in your fucking life.
That guy on fucking Progressive ain't got shit on this dude.
Man, I'm telling you, man, when I used to live in the Lou,
Yeah.
they got some cash for gold places where that dude's getting it. Like, he's out there making a living
Oh,
twirling
for
that
sure.
sign.
I think it's funny her signs, like, I'm pretty sure the first one just said off,
Yeah.
like, with an exclamation point. Like,
Right. There's a bit where she's like, oh, tell me a little bit about yourself. And he's like, oh, yeah. She's like, I didn't know you were so good at twirling a sign. He's like, yeah, I used to live in Oakland or wherever else, Georgia. I used to live in Georgia. I organized the first sign twirlers union. That's just his character arc. He just moves somewhere and organizes a union.
she's like, oh, so that's what you do. You just organize unions.
So Steven Yeun here is definitely trying to get some love off of
Detroit.
I
have here that, essentially Cash, and I think we touched on this a little bit earlier, he chooses the corporation over his
union.
over his friends that are now outside protesting.
Because now he got promoted.
He got promoted.
He essentially doesn't work in the same place anymore.
Exactly.
It's for the same company, different thing.
Yeah, totally different thing. As he's as he's walking by his friends, the banter between his good buddy, I guess it's his best friend throughout the movie.
Played
Sal.
by, I've got him written down here.
Played by Jermaine Fowler. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So his name in the film is Salvador. But the banter, I don't know if you wrote this down, but the banter between them
Oh my! I didn't
as
write
he's
it
trying
down.
to get into the building.
Didn't write it down verbatim, but they're like right up in each other's shit, face to face, like they're gonna start throwing bows.
But they're just saying the nicest.
This the nicest things. You smell really nice. What kind of cologne you got on? I'm wearing this. You smell good too. What are you wearing?
It's just deodorant.
I hope you really come up this year, brother.
I hope you come up this month, my man.
Yeah, I hope you have a great year. I hope you just really come up. No, it's hilarious.
That's fucking awesome.
I think when this is all done, we should go out and get a drink. I'll buy them. They're on me. He's like, no, they're on me. No, they're on me. Oh, we're right there on you. Very funny. The writing and the dialogue for this screenplay, it's great. And that's all Boots too,
It's all
right?
Yeah, this was all, he wrote it, he directed it. He started writing this in, I think, like 2011 or 2012. Mm-hmm. So, he had a little bit of time to perfect this. And I think he did a really, really great job for a guy that, as far as what you were saying, came from the sound department, right? Is that what you said? Like, he had a lot of...
Yeah, he's done a ton of audio work, like soundtracks and stuff like that.
Yeah, cool.
Mm-hmm. And it makes me wonder, because there's so much kind of auteur stuff going on in this film, if that representation of him and Jermaine Fowler's character having that confrontation in the middle is how part of corporate America systematically has a plan to turn low-class people against each other because they won't strike because there will be union scabs, and then there will be strife amongst themselves.
Yeah.
And then maybe the director showing you that one way to overcome these differences is just fucking be as polite as you possibly can to people that share your same situation. Whether you have the same beliefs or not, whether you have different goals or whatever the deal is there, you can just still fucking be nice to each other. Yeah. Because the situation at which they are in, receiving almost no money for a ton of work that is a huge pain in the ass.
Right.
That's got nothing to do with all these cool people in the movie. Mm-hmm. That's the economy that they live in. So they're put in a position where they pretty much have to strike. I mean, they're all going to lose their fucking houses and shit. So
right, yeah, they can't pay their rent. I think they say that at one point. They're all struggling.
Yeah,
they need more money to survive.
Mm-hmm.
He makes his way up top. He's a power caller now.
Mm-hmm.
He makes a big sale and he asks for a
cash advance.
Yeah, just a cash advance.
Just goes hog wild, buys himself a badass car, pays his uncle so his uncle can keep his house.
And I have here that, the visuals, or the visual or whatever you want to call it, of Cash's personal effects when he's
upgrading his apartment, or he's upgrading his garage or whatever. I have that too.
I think he got an apartment, right? So he moved out.
Well, the scene that you're talking about when it's like his old shitty tube TV, it like falls in half and then there's a flat screen that comes up.
Yeah.
That all takes place still in the garage.
Is it still in the garage?
And then by the time the scene is over, he's in a new apartment.
He's in a new, yeah. Okay, yeah, you're right.
Really well shot.
Yeah, that was cool, man.
Beautifully done.
I don't know. I just really enjoyed, because you see like the bed, this is all happening while he's...
him
in Detroit or...
Detroit.
They're
sleeping.
They're
banging.
Well, not quite yet.
They're getting
a little bit of foreplay.
A little foreplay. Yeah, that's right.
They, they're enjoying the success, and we see all these things, these personal effects getting upgraded around them, and it's just such a cool scene. Like the bed expands, the bed gets bigger, the sheets get nicer.
The sheets get nicer. They pull the sheets off and put on fucking like nice, No, it's shot really fucking well.
Yeah.
And I cannot say that enough about this film. The way the camera work's done, the way they set the scenes up, the cinematography, the colors, the palette in this movie is fucking chef's kiss. So good. Like just all the stark, bright and dark contrast. Just a beautiful film all by itself.
For sure. I also have that, Squeeze's, and this might be the next day, Squeeze's speech while on live TV fucking cracked me up. Because, they're at the protest.
Mm-hmm.
They're yelling demands.
Oh, yeah.
We want to be able, and the last thing he says is, we want to be able to go to a doctor the night after we had a drink. Maybe we hooked up.
Maybe we got
gonorrhea. Or that killed me. I love that.
Yeah, that's good
and
stuff.
And the crowd just gets quieter and quieter. They're like, what the fuck?
Right, so he can say it clearer and clearer. And then he's like, and fuck this place, or whatever. What's the name of the company? Regal View. Fuck Regal View.
They're just like, yeah.
So back to Cash. He wakes up in his new apartment. He has an argument with his old lady over, what he does for a living and the type of person that he used to be. Like, those two things conflict. How do you reconcile that? So she gives him an ultimatum, and they split because he's just, frankly, he's blinded by greed and his hubris.
Yeah.
So after that, he gets back to work, and you see him get upstairs, which, by the way, the elevator says more crazy, insane shit. Like, I hope you didn't masturbate today. We need you sharp, and all that kind of shit. And they finally name Omar Hardwick's character, and he's like, thank you, Mr. Beep. And he's like, please, that was my father's name. Call me Beep. Yeah. They bleep it out, so you never know what the guy's name is.
It's just Mr. Bleep.
Yeah. I must have not been able to come up with something fucking super funny, or it's not appropriate for film. Ooh, maybe it's Mr. Cunt Face Wiener Face guy.
I wondered that, like, why is
it bleeped out?
Why is it
It's got to be a deliberate choice.
I think so. I don't know.
Or maybe they just meant to fill it in later, and then production got so far along, and they're like, hey, let's make this fucking movie now.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I kind of wondered that.
You could have went with, like, Smith, though. You know what I mean?
Mr. Smith.
He's at work, and he's going to try to salvage his relationship with Tessa Thompson. Detroit, that's her name. I keep wanting to say, like, any other city that starts with D. Delaware.
That's state.
Detroit state, not a city at all. DeSoto, there we go. There's a little local gem for you if you're from around here.
Oh, shit.
He goes to try to patch things up with her after work, and she's doing like a visual arts performance. She's an artist, and she gets up on the stage and she starts using her white voice, which is voiced over by, I don't have it in my notes here, a really attractive, exotic-looking brunette.
Oh, Detroit's...
Yeah, her white voice.
Lily James.
Yep. Lily James. I don't know what she's famous for or what she's in, but she's a very attractive young lady.
Yeah.
Anywho, so Tessa Thompson puts on her white voice, which I thought was weird because she always asks Cash to stop doing it.
Yeah, she
doesn't like it. It creeps her out. It's not him. It's not funny. It's not cute.
Yeah.
But she puts on her white voice to do her visual performance. She has people throw, bullet casings,
cell phones,
and bags full of sheep's blood.
Something like balloons full of like blood. Yeah.
While she does like one line from an excerpt of a movie in like lingerie.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's her visual arts performance. Visual arts is, frankly, it's kind of strange. I've seen a couple of visual art pieces, and I'm like, I get it.
Yeah.
You have to do it though.
It's odd. I think
maybe it speaks to some people more than
I think
others.
so. I think it can be can be considered powerful on a certain level.
Yeah.
But Cash wasn't having it.
No.
So
he left.
She kind of kicks him out because he interrupts,
Like, why are you doing this? She's like, get the fuck out of here. This is my shit. And then she gets her white voice back on and continues to do it. You survive on my tits or whatever the thing was. I should have wrote it down. So out of the scene, Cash leaves the room, and then you do a hard cut to Armie Hammer doing a line of cocaine 3 feet long.
That was fucking awesome, dude.
He's doing a rail. Somebody had to cut that rail out with like a sword prop from Braveheart. I mean, that fucking thing is humongous.
And right after he snorts this huge line, he says, I guess you're all wondering why I called this meeting. It's just a huge fucking party and everybody goes nuts.
But I'm really glad that Armie Hammer got to play the character of Steve Lift. His like the billionaire background behind the worry-free program that's going on. He's great.
He's amazing.
There were a lot of people that wanted him to play. They wanted him to get cast as Batman, rather than Robert Pattinson.
I can see that. However, I am excited for Robert Pattinson's
same.
Batman.
It's going to be dark and weird and creepy and like super pale and
I'm a vampire bat.
He'll do the thing where he's got like a fatter. They give him a fatter eyebrow, and that somehow makes him a vampire. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Where they like pinch the bridge of your brow and just make it bubbly looking.
That's great.
So Armie Hammer's character, I think he's supposed to be a representation of how some people will go, "Oh, I'm not racist," and they're not. But they're so fucking ignorant that every word that comes out of their mouth makes them sound racist, which the insensitivity to other people's cultural situation is, the ignorance to it is almost as bad as actively being like, I don't like it. Because if you don't like it, at least you're aware of it. If you're totally fucking oblivious to it, is that worse? I'm not entirely sure, but that's kind of what's going on with him. Armie Hammer is so excited to have a black friend.
Yeah, I mean, he's just really out of touch, I think. I think that's what it boils down to.
Yeah, bits of the whole scene with Lakeith and Armie Hammer really, like, even on my third watch of this movie, make me, like, uncomfortable in my own skin. I'm like, man, fucking...
Well, because at first, like, Mr. Bleep has to announce... Or introduce Cash to Mr. Lift. He has to reassure him that he's not dangerous.
He's like, no, it's safe. It's safe.
It's fine.
He's nice.
He's a friend. What?
Yeah, super fucking weird stuff like that. It goes to the end of the party. They're having this giant party. Everybody's doing like rails of coke all over the place.
People are getting fucked.
Get to the end of the party and there's just people be fucking all over the place. You just like the whole audio clip is just like nuts clapping ass cheeks. You know what I mean? That kind of.
Oh shit. Yeah. Yep. That's what it is.
It's fucking hysterical. I missed a part. There's a bit in the party where he calls Lakeith Stanfield's character Cash into the room, and he's like, "So, man, tell us some stuff. You ever get a story about having to pop a cap?" Yeah, and he's like, "No, I've never shot anybody." And they're like, "He's white voice only." Yeah, strictly at this place. And he's like, "No, I've never had to pop a cap," because it's David Cross. And then he's like, "Oh, do a rap," and he's like, "No, I can't rap." And then they all just start chanting, "Rap." He's trying because he's black. They're all like, "No, you can fucking rap. Come on, you're black."
Yeah, and he's like, I like rap. I can listen to rap really well, but I can't rap.
Rap. So he tries to rap. He's having a really hard time, and then he reads the room and just tries on the hat that he knows they all want him to wear. Yeah, and he just he says N-word shit, N-word shit, N-word shit. N-word shit, N-word shit, N-word shit. And then everybody else in the room like says it back to him and they're all chanting. They're like, "Yeah!" They love it. But that's the whole rap. Is him dropping the N-word. Yeah. And they're like, "Yeah, that means we get to say it." And
it's like I was gonna say even before we talked about this scene, it's a very degrading. He just assumes that Cash can rap because he's black, and what follows is just a very degrading scene.
Yeah.
It's a little tough to watch. I mean, I think there is a bit of comedy there, but
Are you talking about after the meeting, when they have their meeting at the end of the party?
Yeah, I don't know. It's tough. Like,
yeah. So, Mr. Bleep's character comes up to Cash. He's like, "Hey, listen, Steve Lift wants to see you. You're gonna go down here, take a left. Go down there, take a right.
Yeah, he gives him all these crazy directions.
Go through this door, take a left, take another right, and then you want to hit the 7th green door on your right hand side." And as he's walking through this, it looks like a hotel from hell with just like tons of wood paneling, and all the doors are green.
And there's like different shades of green for some reason.
Yeah. So he goes in there and he's talking to Armie Hammer, and Armie Hammer's like, "Hey, we don't do a line until it's time. So do this line." And he's got him a gigantic line of drugs cut in like a spiral shape on a horse plate that has the face of a horse on it. It says Mr. Bobo.
Yeah. Who's Mr. Bobo?
I have no fucking idea. You want to give that a goog? I'll jump to the next bit. And he's like, "Oh, Cash, do." He's like, "Yeah, fuck it." And he does all the drugs on the plate. And then he's like, Armie Hammer's like, "Hey, listen, I want you to watch this video while I talk to you about what we want you to do next. So we want you over at Worry Free, and this is a little video we put together about what it is we want you to do."
Yeah.
Did you find anything on Mr. Bobo?
No, you're good.
Okay. Cash has got to piss. He's got to piss real bad. He's like squirming in his seat. He's like, "Man, can this wait? Can I just take a piss real quick and we'll come back?" And Armie Hammer's like, "No." And then he presses play on the thing, and Lakeith sits there for a couple of seconds. He's really uncomfortable. He's like, "Man, I got to. I'm going to piss myself. I'm going to go." And Armie Hammer's like, "Fine." And he puts the controller down, and he's like, "Look, you're going to go down there, and you're going to take a right, and you're going to hit the jade door. Because all these doors are green." And Lakeith Stanfield's character, Cash, he gets up, and he starts walking down the hallway or whatever, and it flips back to Armie Hammer, and he flips a timer. Like a hourglass.
He flips an
timer.
hourglass, yeah.
So he's timing him while he's taking a piss. So Cash, he goes in what he thinks is the jade door, and it is a bathroom. And you see, like, it's like real nasty because this whole party is in a mansion. It's in a gigantic fucking mansion,
and it's beautiful.
And it's like a dingy, dirty. Have you ever been to a slaughterhouse?
Yeah,
kind of looks like a slaughterhouse, like the butcher portion of the slaughterhouse.
Yeah,
real gross looking. Just
or an old abandoned, high school locker room or like shower, like
yeah, it's real gross. And he hears somebody in one of the stalls, and he's like, "Hey, buddy, you coming or going?" The guy's like, "Help me." And he's like,
I'm good.
No, pass. No, this ain't that. Help me, I'm in pain. And he's like, what's wrong with you?
And this is where the film takes its,
you're creeping up on the last 20 minutes of the movie.
It's a little bit longer than that, but yeah, somewhere along there. Yeah.
It starts getting real weird real fast right here.
Yeah.
So the door flings open, and this thing flops out onto the floor, and it's like half man, half horse, 100% dick.
100% horse dick.
Big, gigantic horse dick. Big, gigantic horse dick. Horse person. And they are, not gonna lie, pretty fucking scary. They're just like scary, uncomfortable to look at. They're right in that uncanny valley.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Where you're like, it's not real enough to look real, but it's not unreal enough to look to look super fake. It's right in there in that where it's just uncomfortable.
So a little trivia from that: the company that did that for the film is the same company that worked on Alien.
No shit.
Yeah.
My staple for a good science fiction film.
Right.
Yeah, that's awesome. I can't believe that. What'd you say? Like $3 million for this movie?
Yeah.
3.5 or something?
Yeah, almost $3.5 million.
That's fucking crazy.
It was ADI. They did Alien and they did Predator. I guess like the original Predator.
Well, those are both very good-looking artificial movies. But anyway, there's a bunch of these like horse creatures, and they all start coming out. And they're like, "Oh, help us!" Yeah, they're fucking crazy looking.
It's jarring.
They've all got dicks, so they're strictly doing this to men. It looks like. So they all have like a big, uncomfortable horse dicks, and none of them have clothes on, because why would you if you were a horse person?
Right, and they're all chained up too.
Oh, for sure. So Armie Hammer busts in the room. He grabs Cassius, and takes him outside, and he has a gun now.
Yeah.
And he's like, don't fucking, you're not leaving.
Yeah.
That's why I wanted you to watch this video first instead of see this
Seeing
first.
that
because
first,
then
yeah.
it makes sense.
You went in the wrong door.
You're not going to think I'm fucking crazy. That's not the jade door. Clearly, that's an olive door. That's the jade door. I'm glad it takes you out of that weird kind of horrifying element and right back to comedy as he's explaining himself.
Yeah.
Like it happened seconds ago and I'm already giggling at how fucking stupid he is. He brings him in there after looking at these crazy horse people that are pure nightmare fuel. Army Hammer, he brings him back in. He's like, all right, now you're going to watch the video. You're not leaving until you watch this video or I'm going to have to kill you. So he sits him down and he watches the video and he's like, we spent a lot of money on this. Production value is real high. And it's in claymation.
It's just claymation.
Which is, by all accounts, one of the cheaper means of making anything in Hollywood. That being said, I really like the claymation commercial. The thing they've got going on there, especially with the titty cave lady with her nipple hair blowing in the wind. It's great. So this short video essentially explains that they're turning people into horses because they can work harder. That's it. It's like a workforce exploitation type of thing.
Exactly. Yeah, he transforms humans into half human, half horse, which is what is it? Equisapien. Yeah. So he shows him the video and he starts fucking freaking out because towards the end of the video they say that the catalyst to make you turn into a horse person, people snort it. And 70% of people, it happens right away. Yeah. And so Cassius stands up and he starts freaking out. Freaking out like, you going to turn me into a horse juice, make me snort horse juice? And all this shit. It's real funny. He's like, no, man. He's like, it's pure Peruvian. Ecuadorian,
is it
Peruvian, something
Peruvian?
Like that, yeah.
He's like, pure Peruvian, baby. He's like, I think they got horses in Peru. It's like, try to get all
West Peru.
Yeah, try to get all political on me. Anyway, he's like, no, man, I don't want no part of this. And then he's like, listen, what I want you to do is, I want you to be our inside horseman, live among these people for 5 years.
Yep.
And be our guy on the inside. Get him to see the big picture. Really sell it to him. And then he's like, and then we'll give you the antidote and you're out. You just be back to yourself. And he's like, no, I don't want to do that. And then he hands him a little folded up piece of paper. He goes, well, wait until you see what I'm offering.
Wait till you see the offer.
He opens it up and it's just $100 million and a big smiley face.
That was so fucking silly.
It's silly as hell, man. I fucking love this movie.
But the thing that he wants him to, oversee this operation, but I think he is, because he even says he essentially wants to make Cash the Equisapien Martin Luther King Jr.
Yeah.
What?
Right. It's fucking bizarre. So the whole Equisapien thing, the bathroom, the sleazeball is planned to turn people into fucking horse monsters to exploit them for money.
Yeah, and
this is the point in the movie where I feel like I need a shower.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like the whole thing is just fucking gross as fuck.
And he even tries to sell it a little bit more by telling Cash, you'll have a horse cock, dude.
Yeah. Hey, also, horse cock
man.
has pretty funny stuff. And he's all paranoid the next day that he's going to be a horse person. When he wakes up, he's all fucking like, bah. He runs over to his ex-girlfriend's house and has her, because he's misplaced his cell phone. He goes over to his ex-girlfriend's house and fucking drops trow, and she's like, does my dick look the same? And she's like, yeah, I'm glad you're feeling yourself, but
it's fine.
This looks normal. She's like, oh, you sent me a fucking lewd text last night. And he's like, show me, yeah. And it's the video of the Equisapiens.
Yeah, so he drops his phone, I guess, in the restroom that he was trying to use.
Yeah, and they're like, help us, please, we're hurting.
Yeah, and they film this video, and it gets sent to Detroit. Yeah, it's pretty fucking shocking. Like, imagine getting that.
Just mutated people being held in a facility. Like, what the fuck? I thought it was a dick pic, Yeah, no, that's crazy shit. It is perversely fucking terrifying.
Yeah.
At the same time, to think that you might
turn into a horse.
You might turn into that
or
thing.
A horse person.
Tessa Thompson's character is part of the Left Eye which is like a kind of a terrorist group trying to bring down the Worry-Free Company or camp or
Terror? I don't know if I'd go terrorist because they're trying.
Say that they're like.
I mean, just like a rebellion.
They spin it as a terrorist group on the news.
Yeah.
But there's also a show called. There's a TV show called. What's it called?
Oh my god!
I got the shit beat out of me.
I got the shit kicked out of me, or something like that.
Yeah. So anyway, she's part of this group trying to take down the Worry-Free Company or camp or corporation. I'm still not entirely sure how to refer to it. They just all call it Worry-Free. The weird game show. I got the shit kicked out of me, or what? I got the tar fucked out of me, or whatever it's called. Cassius Green goes on the show because he wants them to play the clip, and they're like, "We'll play the clip after you get the shit beat out of you, and then you got to take a dip in this shit tank." So it comes back from like a commercial break, and he's covered in shit and has had the dog shit beat out of him.
We forgot to mention this earlier, but the reason he gets on the show is because he's actually well known now for a viral video.
Oh yeah,
where he's still part of the power callers,
mm-hmm.
and he's making his way into work one day, and he gets hit in the head with a full soda can.
Right.
And
splits him open.
It splits him open.
As it would.
And he is wearing this bandage around his head for the rest of the movie.
Yeah.
And this video is taken of him, and it goes viral. So he's known as this guy,
Yeah, you're the have a Coke and smile, bitch.
Yeah, because that's what she says to him as she throws it,
It's funny because he just uses it as a example of how a viral video can give anybody, a platform to do something.
Yeah.
Anyone. How many people have gone viral since the birth of the internet?
Right.
So many. And what do
yeah.
they do with it? Nothing.
Not much.
Nothing really. He's given this opportunity. All these people are like wearing costumes that look like him, and they're all cracking up about it. The video that they show you, it's not funny.
No.
It's not funny at all. There's like no reason it would be viral by today's standards.
Right.
But anyway, so he has this leverage. He goes on the show. It does all this shit to get him to play the clip. Everybody's like, oh my fucking God. So I really like the way that was all put together.
But people weren't really fazed by it, by the video, right? Because the stocks from that company just went up.
Well, he did the whole talk show circuit. He goes on all these different shows. There's a bit towards the end where he's going to meet up with his previous best friend, played again by Jermaine Fowler. I don't have his character's name in front of me. He goes to see Jermaine Fowler and I think Stephen Yen also. He goes to see him for a drink. He's like apologizing for his behavior. And he's like, listen, I got a plan. Here's what we're going to do. But man, I'm not like a fashionista type of guy, but that last outfit that he's rocking in this scene, that ain't it. He's wearing like an off-white, like cotton linen shirt, and then he's wearing a tan cardigan over it,
mm-hmm.
and then really, really light pink pants and brown loafers. That ain't working. Hard pass on that.
Hard pass.
And that's about all you're going to get out of me, out of that kind of stuff. Yeah, so they devise a plan to start a riot and set these horse people free. Cash gets knocked out.
Yeah.
At the start of the riot, where they've had these protests the whole movie. This has been going on since Stephen Yen organized the coup, essentially.
Right.
It's not a coup. Protest. So he gets knocked out. Somebody's like, hey, Cash. Hits him with the butt of a gun, knocks him unconscious. He wakes up in like a riot van, looking out of a small window, and he sees all the people run away, and then a riot van pulls up, and then it stops, and then it's squealing tires, and it starts going backwards, and you can see his friends were successful.
Yeah.
Because there's a Equisapien like pushing this van back, which was pretty great because they were all creepy as shit looking.
And they break him out.
Oh yeah.
They come to the rescue and break out Cash.
Yeah, and he's like, and they've all still got their dicks out.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
None of them have been like pants or a towel or no. I mean, because if you had a horse dick, I would think that's more of a reason to wear pants. Like, if you like hit that on something, you accidentally sit on it, or
you'd have to get really, special made pants. I think
you would have to get special horse dick pants.
Horse dick pants.
Man,
that's probably pretty expensive.
Look, I know the common conception is, having a huge penis is great.
Yeah.
I very much like having an average penis. If I had a horse dick, it'd be such a huge inconvenience.
I'm good. Big balls are already a problem. It fucking sucks.
Yeah.
They're in the way all the
with you.
time.
Yeah, it's like a big fat ripe grapefruit
Yeah.
of balls. And they're real sensitive. I don't like it.
Sucks.
Anywho. So he gets out of the van. One of the Equisapiens saved him. And he's like, "Thank you. It is an honor to be in your presence." The guy's like, "Man, my name's Greg. I'm from Jersey. Fucking fuck you. Thanks. I appreciate it." It's like, "Oh, Equisapiens roll out." But now they've got this close up and you're looking to it like it has dialogue. I mean, not it. There's an actor in the suit. It's got a real like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2 vibe to it.
Right.
It's a little more silly in the second half where it's not done in this weird horror film, murder bathroom fucking scene. It takes a lot of the creepy edge off of it, although it's still pretty uncomfortable. You know, the Equisapiens are free. The next day, he gives his baller car away to his friend Jermaine. Gets a very modest, like a
Toyota Camry or something like that.
Camry or something, who knows. He moves back in with his uncle, but he keeps all his...
he keeps his shit.
A
lot of his shit, you know, keeps it fresh. He gets the girl back. He gets Detroit back.
And then...
But...
he starts turning into a horseman.
So yeah, they go into the garage and he bumps his nose or hits his nose, you know, as he's closing the garage door. And I guess this activates it. You know what I mean? Like
they say in the video, they're like 70% of people it happens within 24 hours. So that means 30% of people it happens later.
So
or earlier.
Yeah, he turns into a Equisapien. And then we get a
like a post-credit kind of.
Yeah, it's like a very quick post-credit though.
Mid-credit, I guess. Him and some other Equisapiens show up at Army Hammer's character's house.
Mr. Lift's house, yeah.
And they ring the doorbell. He's like, "This is Cassius Green. Sorry to bother you. It's time for an ass whooping or a hockey stomping or whatever he says to him. It's badass though." Yeah, that's it. That's the whole deal with that. Good movie. I like it a lot.
Yeah, it's a very strange movie.
Yeah. I like weird shit though, man. Because a lot of stuff I've never seen a movie like this. It's a lot of fun to watch.
It's just different, and I like that.
Yeah, you know, I like it a lot.
It's not the same shit. It's not the same trope.
I like it, Boots.
Yeah, good job, Boots.
Yep, loving it.
How many thumbs up?
Oh, I'm going 9.5.
9.5.
I enjoy this. This is my third watch. I enjoyed it just as much the third time as I did the first time.
Yeah, this
About
is
you?
About
you. If you're all thumbs.
All thumbs. I'll give it a.
Well, let's. You know, I'm gonna keep the same rating, but I'm gonna change the unit of measurement.
Okay.
How many like floppy horse dicks?
Ooh, floppy horse.
I'm going 9.5 floppy horse sticks, which is probably like, I don't know, quarter mile.
Yeah.
laid out next to each other. They're banging calves. They're very umptuous, I guess.
I'm gonna go a solid 9 floppy horse cocks.
Okay.
Out of 10.
I like 9 floppy horse cocks. That's good. That's it. I mean, I think we talked about it pretty extensosely. We covered damn near everything there is to cover about it.
Yeah.
Did we say? Yeah, we did say David Cross and
Patton Oswalt.
Patton Oswalt. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just wanted to make sure that we at least mention that because they're in this movie heavily and they're both great. So now that we've finished that, it's time for the other
thing that
we're gonna watch.
This was a hard one to find.
This is
we usually don't have a hard time finding a bad movie with a similar theme, but I think we both had a little bit of trouble here.
Well, good Lord, what do you say this movie's about?
That's you can
that's
say
the hard part about it. There's like 9 themes going on in this movie.
Right. I looked up call center stuff. A lot of the call center movies that I found were actually pretty good. Like as far as reviews, there was one that was in a different language that I thought would be kind of odd for us to do.
So instead, I picked a Russian movie.
That's
since
dubbed.
We're both Russian Splinter Cells.
But it's dubbed, right?
Yeah, it is. It is dubbed for English. So we're gonna watch this weird Russian American movie. It's got a pretty decent looking cast.
Does it though?
I can tell you the production value on it doesn't look super low from looking at the trailer, but I don't know anything else about the movie. So it is called, what's it called? Branded?
Branded.
Branded is the English translation of the title. Or it may be called Branded in Russia. I don't fucking know because I can't read, Russian. Is it called Russian? Is there a different word for it?
It's just Russian.
Okay, yeah. I can't read it.
So yeah, this is a 2012 film. Drama, fantasy, sci-fi. The most famous name in this film, which I don't, because I watched the trailer and I don't remember seeing him. Jeffrey Tambor is in this.
Yeah, old Pop.
Old Pop's in this.
Old Pop from Arrested Development.
Yeah, we're sitting at a 4.7 out of 10 on IMDb, 20 Metascore. This is going to be...
That's real bad on Rotten Tomatoes, isn't it? Single digits on Rotten Tomatoes?
Yeah, this is going to be pretty fucking stupid, I think.
Yeah, I think it's going to be bad. Which is the point. So, if you ever wanted to watch this weird fucking Russian dubbed over movie, you don't. I know that you don't. I don't even know why I'm putting myself through this. I could just have dick and fart jokes for another hour and call it a night. But we're going to do it. So, we'll be back in a few minutes. Here's a word from our sponsors.
The Hollywood Nip. Meow. Good evening. It's Tom Woodson, and I'm joined here with renowned vocalist, civil rights activist, and house cat, Karen. Karen, it's lovely to have you here in the studio today. You truly are a national treasure. So you're here to talk to us today about your latest novel? And it's generating quite the buzz. Already a 2 times New York bestseller. You'll laugh, you'll cry, you may even just purr. Pick up your copy of Scratching at the Post today at Brands and Nurbles. So Karen, tell me, does the main character Lisa reflect your own experience in the field of investigative journalism? Yes, of course she... Yeah, your time in Kuwait? Okay, so there are talks of Scratching at the Post getting a movie deal. Any comment on who you'd like to see play the leading role, Leopold? Really? Well, I do always enjoy John Malkovich on screen. Well, this has been delightful, Karen. Thank you for taking the time to sit down with us today. All right. Well, this has been the Hollywood Nip, and I've been Tom. I'm Tom Hollywoodson. The Hollywood Nip. Meow. Special thanks to Brad Sexton for our jams. Please check out his music at suns.bandcamp.com. That's sunds.bandcamp.com. And another special thanks to Lamplighter Productions for our amazing artwork. Be sure to check them out on Instagram at lamplighter_productions_IL. Check us out on Twitter or Instagram at It's Just Two Movies. And we have a website too. I have no idea what the URL is yet, but it's going to be real good. If you like the show, please leave a like or subscribe. It does help the show out a lot. Okay, we're back from watching Branded.
Not Brandon.
Not Brandon. Branded. And real quick, though, shout out to our sponsors. Appreciate everything they do. And, if there's promo codes or whatever's running on that, be sure to check into that. It helps us out tremendously. MeUndies or HelloFresh, just email me at it's just two movies at gmail.com. Be more than happy to sell out. So we watched the movie Branded. A couple of things about the movie Branded. If you want to know the budget for this film and the box office earnings, so do I. Please write me at it's just two movies at gmail.com on Twitter or Instagram. Yep, at it's just two movies.
Well, the world, we do not, I did find the worldwide gross, and it was $4 million.
$4 million. I wish I knew how much this cost.
I know. I want to know. We couldn't find that information.
Some of the cinematography in it's not bad. Most of the cinematography in it's not bad. It's just CGI is something else.
Yeah, the cinematography. Yeah. We'll get there.
We'll get into it.
Yeah.
It was actually kind of hard to find some good info on this film while avoiding spoilers for this show, for the purpose of this show. When we watch a bad movie we've never seen before, we try to be as open about it as possible. The easiest way to do that is to avoid any spoilers. And then, in some cruel twist of fate, all we do is tell you all the spoilers for all the movies. So, we'll go ahead and dive right into it. Saying that, I want to start out by saying we watched this movie because I thought, from what I had read, this movie was about a corporation turning people into monsters.
Yeah.
What it is actually about. There's a guy named Misha, and Misha starts out doing sales he's like a janitor at a little tiny liquor store, and then he tells the guy to only sell vodka, and then he tells the guy to advertise that he only sells vodka. The guy starts making more money. Misha asks for a raise. The guy says no. So the guy had ties with the mob, so Misha meets the mob. They get him to burn the liquor store down. This guy's like a marketing genius or something like that.
But he used to be a history buff.
He used to be a history buff before this story even started. But before that story even started, he was a kid who hallucinated cows in the sky and got struck by lightning, and an old lady slapped him in the face and said, "You're going to live an extraordinary life." So after that, he gets fired, he gets double-crossed, and then he gets down on his luck. He sacrifices a cow, and then he starts hallucinating monsters that come out of people, and the monsters are a actual representation of the brands that are marketed to people. Like, it feeds off of brands.
Yeah.
And then he finds a way to get rid of all the brands.
Because he's a marketing genius.
Because he's a marketing genius and also a history buff.
You're forgetting that, Misha was hired by a reality TV show, Extreme Cosmetics, to fucking overweight women are going to get plastic surgery and they're going to be beautiful.
Yep.
And they fuck it up. And the woman that's going to get plastic surgery she's in a coma now.
Yeah.
And she's in a coma for like 10 years.
Yeah.
And at the end of the movie, she wakes up and there's no more brands.
Yeah, there's no more brands at all because Misha did away with them.
He's a fucking genius.
I say that he devised the hatching of a new monster egg, which is a new business, which ate all the other businesses. It's fucking real bizarre. We'll get to the rest of it. That is the plot of the movie, though, so I do apologize that I don't fucking apologize. It's hard to find movies with common themes when you're working with interesting movies that are kind of avant-garde kind of shit. That's the thing about things that are avant-garde is there's nothing else really. They're like newer, it's different.
Yeah, kind of like our show.
Yeah. No. Exactly like our show, which is every podcast. Just two white guys talking about movies. Okay, so let's talk about this fucking thing. I'll do 3 of my notes, and then you want to do 3 of yours?
Sure.
How many you got? I've got
not a lot.
I gave up. I got an okay amount, but it's not a ton. I have a rant. I have a rant in the middle of my notes. Maybe 2. I think I have 2. It starts out in the 1980s. There's a kid in Moscow. He gets struck by lightning. It's fucking stupid. And while he's laying on the ground, presumably dead because he got struck by lightning, an old Russian grandma, a babushka, if you will, comes up to him and nobody's approaching the kid. They're all just putting their umbrellas up, which if there's lightning, that's a terrible idea. And then they're all gathered around him, just looking at a dead body. They're like, "Well, that's a shame." I mean, they're not saying anything.
They're not helping at all.
Certainly, at least they're giving him lots of space. One old grandma leans down, turns him over, and just fucking
slaps him
right in the face. I do have written here, "This is not how you do opening credits." And then I wonder how we're going to cut to the next scene. Fade to black.
Is it because they kept cutting?
Yeah,
they kept cutting.
Assistant directed by Tommy Tomlinson and Jimmy Jimerson, and then fade into color, shoot a scene, and then fade to black. Key grip, Tommy Tums, and they would just do it over and over and over again, and I can't make up more fake names. Those are the two I've got. Tim and John, or Tom and John.
And John.
Yeah, yep. And the next... Oh, no, that's you. Get in there.
Well, the thing that I think they tried to save this film by hiring, or casting, I should say, Jeffrey Tambor. We know him from Arrested Development fame.
He's in all kinds of shit.
And he's in all kinds of other TV shows, movies. Didn't work.
No. I mean, it was cool to see him in there for like the 5 minutes he's in there.
Sure. And
like you said, while we were watching it would have been cool if he would have just been the character from Arrested Development.
Yeah, that would have been funny as fuck.
Yeah. George Bluth
He
Sr.
did not have a great performance in this film.
Nah, it wasn't fun.
I almost wish he wasn't in the film.
Yeah, it kind of taints him a little bit,
Yeah.
like right in the taint area.
Yeah.
So that there's a bit where the main guy, what's the actor's name?
The main actor is Ed Stoppard.
Okay, so Ed Stoppard's character, he's
Misha.
He's a marketing genius,
History buff,
prophet, double agent spy.
Yeah. What the fuck, dude?
Okay,
this movie is 4 different movies.
Yeah, its biggest part is it can't pick a fucking lane.
But it's the same story. Like, it's not a different story.
Nope.
It's just 4
different movies.
Yep. Continue. Sorry, I just had to, because we had touched on that earlier.
Yeah.
So there's a bit where, and this is like a good 20 minutes of the film, where Misha fails and he moves to the country in like a little shack.
Oh yeah. No, he's like homeless. It's like a fucking lean-to or something.
Yeah. It's some sort of home. I wouldn't say he's homeless. He had an outhouse, right? He's got something.
Yeah, they did have an outhouse, which is just a hole in the ground.
Hey, you could sleep in that.
You could. I wouldn't. You could. Oh god, you wake up with like a fucking staph infection. Anyway, there's a bit where they make fun of seatbelts. I have that written here.
I have it here. I called him Lightning Boy for the first 20 minutes of the film.
Super stoned guy calls Misha and fires him.
There are a lot of very long pauses.
Dead air.
In this film.
Yeah. You know what I think about that? It's fucking stupid. There's no reason for it. It's not building dramatic tension at that point. You're just filling time.
Helen Hunt is in this.
You could cut 4 minutes off this movie, and I do a ton of editing. You could cut 4 minutes off this movie just removing useless dead air.
Yeah. Did I mention Helen Hunt was in this film?
Helen Hunt's in this. She looks amazing.
Yeah, she looks really good. Jeffrey Tambor got really upset at one point about not having enough ketchup. I do remember that.
Yeah, and Misha fucking Helen Hunt, which is his granddaughter
or daughter. I'm not really sure. That wasn't really. I think it's
niece.
Maybe. Yeah,
who knows?
that's like his
Uncle.
And then
Uncle
he
Jeffrey
sees
Tambor.
them fucking in a car in traffic.
Yeah, in the middle of rush hour or something.
In the middle of rush hour. Do you see what I did there?
I mean,
I said Russia hour instead of rush.
Rush hour. Russia hour. All right, somebody put that on a fucking t-shirt. Woo! So Helen Hunt. It's not really Helen Hunt. What's her name?
I'll pull it up. Sorry.
She looks like early 90s Helen Hunt.
Literally. Like, I've never seen someone look like someone else as much as this woman looks like 1992 Helen Hunt.
Yeah, she's got a real doppelganger thing going on.
Her name is Lily Sobieski.
Lily Sobieski?
Yeah.
What's a lovely last name? Sobieski. It just rolls off the tongue. It's nice. Yeah, she looks exactly like Helen Hunt. And there's a bit where she's talking to the main character, Misha, and she's talking about, I don't know, a movie or a commercial or something that they're working on that's like advertising style. She says, I don't think the problem is with casting. You need a good director. Couldn't agree more. There's a scene where he's like showing off to her like how much he knows about marketing and history, and it's super pretentious.
Yeah. The film is strangely narrated.
It is.
Like
it
it's
keeps
someone
coming in. It's like Queen Latifah narrates it, or
someone narrates this film.
is it a guy or is it? I don't even.
It's a
remember.
woman.
We just watched it. It's a woman. Kind of sounds like a Queen Latifah narrator.
No,
It's not Queen Latifah.
No.
It's not. They wouldn't get Queen Latifah for this piece of shit.
you couldn't pay Queen Latifah.
No.
No.
You could,
Yeah, I mean,
but she wouldn't. She would still be like, "No, it's gonna be a pass for me, dog."
But the narrator turned out to be the cow
Yeah.
in the stars.
Yep.
From the beginning
Yep.
of the boy's dream before he got struck by lightning.
Yep.
And if you're listening to this, and I just apologize because this is all kinds of like out of order. Probably doesn't make sense to you,
It didn't make sense.
but it
to us.
didn't make sense to us.
You ever tried to watch 4 fucking movies at one time?
Can't do it.
Saved you an hour and 45 minutes. You're welcome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was there a CGI steak in this? Remember that?
You wrote that down? So this lady's got a big ass like a Wagyu fucking porterhouse cut piece of steak in front of her, and she sticks her fork in it and she goes to cut off. Man,
We thought it was like
it's like a 16th of an
Like a
inch
16 yeah.
piece of steak. It's like the smallest sliver of steak you've ever seen. And when she raises her fork up, it's a
pretty good size.
like a mouthful piece of steak.
yeah.
I don't know if that's CGI steak or if it was just a bad
A
camera
weird
angle, but it was a little jarring going back and forth. And I immediately was like, "Why is this lady getting this?" We both at the same time were like, "Who eats steak like that?" We
looked at each other
like
like-
nobody. Good lord. Let's see here.
What was your rant about earlier? We paused the film for like
yeah, no, I've got it. So we're 41 minutes into the movie, and I've got written here the beginning. Some people see things like there's like a whole mystic bit, and we're 41 minutes into it, and it's about a savvy spy guy marketing wizard, only minus the wizard part because this was about monsters. I really thought it was about corporations turning people into monsters. That was my rant. It made more sense up front.
Well, the trailer that I watched, the first
That was in Russian.
yeah, the first, I don't know, 45 minutes of the film didn't reflect that trailer at all.
No, the trailer makes the whole thing looks like it's like alien invasion, monsters all over the city kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It doesn't match.
Yeah.
I want to go back to the weird sequence with Misha living in the woods.
Oh, that's not
What do
there
you-
yet. This happens just now. The next thing I have written down is so now he's homeless and hallucinating cows again.
So, okay, he moves out into the woods.
Mm-hmm. This is 6 years later.
This is 6 years later after he fails, I guess, or like what? I don't.
Yeah, he gets fired and shit.
And Jeffrey Tambor dies. He has a heart attack. I thought it was just bad gas, but it ends up he died of a heart attack.
Heart condition.
It's probably too many burgers.
The big company in this, it's like a McDonald's type of thing.
Yeah,
it's
it's
just
just
called
called
The Burger.
The burger. All right, so Misha's living.
It's got a fucking terrible logo for a movie
Yeah.
about marketing. That's a shit logo.
They should
just
fire
saying.
their marketing guy.
I'm just saying.
Misha's living in the woods. This really confused me a lot. He's a cow herder now. Is that what he was? Like,
he's a cow guy. He's like into cows, I guess. It's probably on farmersonly.com.
he's a cow guy. He's like into cows.
Yeah, he's like into them, you know. Like milking them,
Yeah.
and petting them, and
Yeah.
grazing them,
Mm-hmm.
and milking
them.
Getting those cow eggs, fresh cow eggs every day.
So Misha has a red cow that he decides to.
Guess what its name is? Don't know because they don't tell you.
Damn it! I thought I thought I missed that. I was like, did I miss something? They named the red cow
Red. Its name was
Red.
Yeah, its name was
And he builds a. What would you call it?
I would call it a handicap accessible funeral pyre gazebo. I wrote that down.
Seriously?
Yep.
That's pretty much what it is.
Yeah, that's just imagine it in your mind.
And he builds
Like
this.
a funeral pyre that has a gazebo on top of it that is very handy capable. You know, wheelchair accessible entry.
Well, I mean, it has to be because he leads the cow up to
Yep.
the gazebo.
I wonder, I've heard that cows can't go downstairs.
I can see that.
Do you think that's true?
I'm not a
I
cow
am,
expert,
too.
but
They're pretty front heavy.
yeah.
I could see a cow having a hard time going downhill.
What about up? You think a cow could go upstairs?
Hell yeah, cow can go upstairs.
How do you know that?
1 foot in front of the other, motherfucker. I used to put cows upstairs all the time. That's what I did for a summer job. Put cows upstairs.
Fucking $8 an hour, bitch.
We have a cow, but I really just wish it was upstairs. And we'll be over at 2 p.m. tomorrow, ma'am. We'll get that cow upstairs.
I'm your man. I'm
That's
your cow
It's a
man.
lot of pulling and... Come on.
So he gets this cow up to the murder sacrifice gazebo, and he slaughters it with an axe.
Yeah, he does. He like gets like a fireman's axe, like
Yeah.
with the pointy thing on the other side.
And the
at least
blood.
I don't think it's a felling axe. Is it? It's not a felling axe, is it?
I don't
Does it
know.
have two heads on it?
No.
No. Okay. I think it's a fireman's axe.
Yeah, it was probably just.
Anyway,
I'm not an axe expert. But
I'm an axe guy. You know, like you got your hatchet, you got your fucking hand axe, you got your hewing axe, you got your felling axe. There's a bunch of them out there.
Your smelling axe.
Anyhow, you got your smelling axe, you got your jerking it axe, got your axe body spray. So many kinds.
So he sacrifices this cow or whatever. The blood drips down through the gazebo
Yep.
into the soil,
Yep.
and then he sets the gazebo on fire.
Yeah, he does. And this is the same movie that we were watching earlier that is about none of that shit. None of it at all. For 40-something minutes. Like 45 minutes of this movie has nothing to do with any of that shit. And then all of a sudden, he's homeless and burning a cow. I was going to say alive, but he already murdered it with an axe on top of a gazebo that sits on top of a funeral pyre that he got to via handicap accessible ramp.
Yep.
Wooden ramp.
Yeah.
So the ramp burns up and everything.
Yeah, he
All
leads
this work for 6 years to murder a red cow. I did catch the thing though. In the movie, they say he's like reading old books. He's like, "Oh, sacrificing the red cow alleviates you of the sin of the golden calf." And then I have written here, "Oh my God, it's the burger" in all caps. Oh yeah, because the burger's the monster. Now, after he sacrifices the cow, he gets ashes and puts them in water and pours it over his head and then passes out. And when he wakes up, he sees.
That's how he starts hallucinating,
he
or
starts
whatever.
seeing these things. They come out of the back of your neck, and they are brands. Like the monsters are monsters that are born from brands that make you want certain products.
Yeah, something like that. I think. I mean, I thought there were Pokemon monsters.
Oh God. So he starts to have a mental breakdown after he starts seeing these fucking monsters. And he's like telling Helen Hunt, who's not actually Helen Hunt. I don't want to associate her with this movie, but I can't remember the other gal's name. And Helen Hunt, there's no way you're listening to this show, but if you do, somebody cloned you. They found some of your DNA on a hairbrush or something. You got another young Helen Hunt rolling around out there going by another name.
By the way, Misha has a son now.
Misha does have a son now, a fat little fuck.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding. I'm also a fat little fuck. I wouldn't worry about it. He's just a chubby kid, which is fun.
He had a son with
McDonald's.
with Lily Sobieski. Abby is her name in the film.
Yeah.
They had a
Abby.
son, and he's like 9 now. So I guess Misha was gone for
He was gone for a long time.
a while.
He's back. He's telling her what he sees, these monsters that are like addicted to brands or whatever. And he's fucking freaking out. He's thrown everything off the counters. He's ripped all the like fucking drawers and the crispers out of the refrigerator, and there's shit everywhere. And he's telling her all this stuff, and he just leaves the refrigerator door open like some kind of fucking animal. Trying to cool off the whole neighborhood, Misha?
No, yeah, they only have a cool $6 million.
He's not working anymore just because his wife's rich. He was fucking homeless, murdering and burning cattle out in the middle of BFE.
They only have a cool $6 million in the bank, so they really have to watch their electric bill.
Yeah, take it easy. The last thing I have is Star Cow tells a dumb story. This is the movie, though. I mean, these aren't great notes, but it wasn't a great movie, so...
It's, okay, so it started out a little shaky. I will say that the first half, it wasn't terrible.
Yeah, it had me interested in it.
Yeah, it had its moments, right?
Because I forgot that I already read the synopsis.
Mm-hmm. And even
but
like
the synopsis I read was wrong.
Yeah.
We're kind of close, though. Corporations turning people into monsters. Corporations already are monsters that this guy can see now because he sacrificed a cow. It makes a lot of sense, though. It's a really sound premise for a film.
Yeah. Like I said, the first half, it could use a punch up. And even the weird cow sequence, there were a lot of decent shots in that. I don't know if you remember. Like, there were, like, the cinematography was actually kind of decent.
A lot of the cinematography is not bad in this at all.
Yeah. But it just turned into, like we said, it was like 4 different films in one after the first half.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think it needs a rewrite. I think you can take the idea for this movie and you can keep the cast for this movie, which wasn't awful. And I think you could take it back to the writer's table and go, hey, we need to kind of scrub some of the sci-fi options out of this.
The monsters that he was seeing.
It feels real shoehorned in there.
And it looks bad. It looks so bad.
Yeah.
The CGI
is real bad. And the part where you have to take him out of the modern world to go on a real quick 10-minute hero's journey so he can come back to the real world with a supernatural power. It's just fucking weird. It's weird right in the middle of it.
Yeah.
It should be the whole story, not 15 minutes of the story. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? I think you could cut all that out and work in the same idea through dialogue and character exchanges and, arc. Like important arc points for character development. I don't think that you have to do this weird sci-fi thing.
No, I understand the message, the brands.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I get that. I get what they were going for.
Yeah, and it's not bad.
And towards the end of the film, it not again leaving out all the sci-fi weird shit and everything. There was the shots of Russia, which who knows where they actually filmed this. There are no signs. There are no brands anywhere.
Yeah, they say they film it. They say it's filmed in Moscow.
That's what they say.
Well, they say the movie takes place in Moscow. Don't know if it actually is.
Probably
Moscow.
filmed in North Carolina.
Well, I don't know. It's got there's some interesting architecture in it. A lot of the cinematography is really not bad. The palette is really not bad. A lot of the shots and stuff like that are really not bad. Filters and everything. I mean, a lot of it looks pretty good.
Yeah.
It's just the CGI looks like dog shit.
Get rid of that CGI.
You're trying to shoehorn this weird sci-fi edge in there that doesn't need to be there.
Mm-mm.
I think without just that one thing, you would have a pretty decent movie. I thought
because what we say it was like an hour and 45 minutes. You could easily shave off 15 minutes of this, rewrite a little bit.
Yeah.
And honestly, like I said, I think I said it earlier. Jeffrey Tambor, he doesn't belong in this film.
No, he really doesn't.
You could get anybody else. You could get any other nobody.
What's the other old British white guy that's in it? He's wearing so much makeup.
He was really bad in
like
this.
An uncomfortable amount of makeup, and you also couldn't understand him.
I couldn't understand. Max von Sydow.
Okay.
However you said. Oh, he actually passed away this year.
Oh,
Damn.
did he?
Shit.
Was that the last thing he did? God, I hope not.
No, that was in 2012. So
okay.
He was in a couple other things.
Yeah, he's done other shit. Man, he died. That sucks.
Oh shit, he was in like a bunch of Star Wars films.
Yeah.
He was in Game of Thrones. Oh my god. He was the three-eyed raven in Game of Thrones. Holy shit.
What? That's blowing my mind.
I know, because you watched all of those.
Never seen an episode of Game of Thrones.
That seriously does fucking blow my mind. He was really bad in this, though.
I've seen T-shirts online. Yeah, he was wearing a ton of makeup, and his wardrobe was kind of weird.
Remember how he died? Like he got hit by lightning.
Oh yeah, yeah.
He was wearing that weird like hoodie, and he put the hood up, and he stepped outside, and he got hit by lightning, and then his body just disappeared, and then the hoodie fell to the
just a smoking hoodie.
That was a thing.
Yeah, that's that really happened in the movie.
Get rid of that.
With that guy, and I can't think of anything else off the top of my head, but he's in other things that I've cherished and enjoyed his role in. But man, this ain't one of them. I don't know if it's just that maybe they should have put a mic on him rather than just try to boom mic him. Maybe, I don't know.
Maybe get a different fucking director.
He was very difficult to understand. Man, I don't think the director did a terrible job, to be honest with you, because this story made sense to me. It just was dumb, which isn't the director's fault because he didn't write it. You know what I mean? Yeah,
actually, he did.
Did he really? Well, then, what's his name?
Jamie Bradshaw.
Jamie Bradshaw. Fucking, come on, man. You better than that.
You better than that.
I believe you got it in you.
I don't know if he is, man. He doesn't even have an IMDb picture.
He doesn't even have an IMDb picture. All right, well.
He's literally known for Branded and then something called The Offshore Reserves, which is a 15-minute short from 2004.
Well, guess what? Not watching it, because I bet it's not good. But you could have got a rewrite on this and just done it as a drama instead of some kind of sci-fi thing.
Yeah, it would have worked well as a drama.
It would have worked well. I mean, 30 minutes into it, I think we were both interested to see what was going to happen next, because I forgot what I thought it was supposed to be about, which is monsters.
You know, aside from the beginning, which was like the dream sequence, kind of silly. I guess it did end up like tying in with the film, but that shit you could have cut out. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
What a weird film.
Do you have any other notes for it? Like to improve it, to make it a better thing?
You know, I think a lot of the acting was fine. Like I said, I don't think Jeffrey Tambor belongs in this film. Maybe replace...
What would you recast? Who would you recast him with? Armie Hammer, just doing rails of coke. You know what I mean?
No, because it's got to be an older. It has to be an older guy.
Says who? Be like, don't fuck my sister instead of my niece or whatever. But then,
I think any other nobody, because I don't know anyone else from this film besides Jeffrey and Max von Sydow.
Yeah.
Like, and those two, I feel like need replaced. Like, they don't fit in this film.
I tell you what I do on a punch up. If I was going to rewrite this shit, I'm taking all the sci-fi elements out of it because it works better without them.
Yeah.
And then instead of that, during that time lapse where they're like 6 years later and he's living in the woods and all this shit, show me more of that. Like, not just him like laying in a bed or chopping wood or burning a cow. Show me like him living in the middle of the woods.
And surviving and like
that
struggling.
Shit would be cool. Yeah,
you know?
Yeah, fucking almost dying, like heavy little meeting with the goddess, like him being like about to starve to death or something.
Yeah.
You could make that into fine. That still puts a spiritual aspect of it into it without having weird fucking CG monsters that look awful.
Let us know if you can find out.
Yeah, honestly,
the budget for Branded.
Yeah, if you do have the budget, we did get the box office though, right? What'd you say the box office was?
It made
$3 million.
It made like $4 million.
$4 million. That's a lot more than I thought this would have made.
What would you guess?
Man, if I had to put a ballpark on it, they didn't pay a shit ton of money on casting. They probably paid Jeffrey Tambor damn near as much money as they paid the guy that starred in it. And Jeffrey Tambor's in it for 10 minutes. Oh, man. Maybe $3 million, because it did have special effects.
Yeah, I was going to say 5.
The camera work looked good. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
as far as whoever shot it,
it was fine.
It looked very good, actually. Looked a lot better than what I was expecting. I don't really have anything else to go off of this. I just rewrite it.
Yeah.
Just give it a rewrite.
It needs...
It's got good bones.
Yeah.
It's got good bones. The cast isn't bad.
No, they're really not.
Nobody was like over the top or fucking awful. Jeffrey Tambor just seemed out of place.
Yeah.
You know, pay him a little more money or get him hung over or something like that, and maybe you get a little more salt and pepper out of him. I don't know.
I say just get a nobody. Most of the other actors in this, they were fine. So I think that's all we have for
if you had dough to throw on it, you get like a Michael Douglas.
Michael Douglas.
Yeah, I don't think he'd be weird in it. But you would need more of him, though. You can't just have him for 10 minutes and then cut him out of the rest of the movie.
That's actually not a bad idea.
You know what I mean? Like, if he was in the first...
Yeah, he needs to be in
the first
half
hour
of it. Yeah.
Yeah, if he was in the good, first and second act of it.
Yeah, because he can play a good businessman,
Oh, yeah, he was doing good. I thought he was a good dynamic character. He didn't have a whole lot going on in it, but...
No, I'm talking about Michael Douglas.
Yeah, I'm just talking about the part of the character of whatever the fuck his name was. So, what are you giving this on?
Oh, are we rating this?
We have to, unfortunately. What do you want to give it on horse dicks? How many horse dicks you got on it?
We have never rated any of our bad films.
We rated some of them. We didn't rate the last one.
I don't know about all that. I think you miss.
I don't know. Rate it though as a bad. No, because we rate some of them as a bad movie. Like, rated as a movie and then rated as a bad movie. As a movie, I'm going to give it a 2. I was interested in it.
A 2?
Yeah.
That's really bad.
Yeah. Yeah, it is. What's the last episode you and I did together?
In Dreams.
In Dreams and Sorry to Bother You. I think I gave In Dreams...
No, we just did.
I gave In Dreams no thumbs.
We just did Sorry to Bother You.
Oh, yeah. In Dreams and The Voices.
The Voices.
Yeah, I think I gave In Dreams no thumbs.
We didn't rate it.
Well, we'll see.
We'll see.
We'll see.
All right.
How much you want to bet? $1,000. $1,000 bet.
$1,000 that we rated this film.
$1,000 and
right.
You got to rate it.
If you want me to rate Branded.
You got to rate Branded.
In horsecocks or thumbs?
Horsecocks. As a movie. Not as a bad movie, but as just if you had to sit, somebody's like, hey, pick a movie to watch.
I'll do a 3. I'll give it a 3.
You're going to give it a 3?
Yeah.
3 horse dicks?
Yeah. Fine. Fucking 2.5 horse cocks. I don't know.
You give as many horse cocks as you
me?
want. I just want your honest horse cock opinion. So, what would you rate it as a bad movie? As a bad movie, I'm going to give it a 7.5. Because you know what? I'm going to go ahead and give it an 8 3/4 horse dicks. Because I really had a super fun time ripping this movie to shreds while we were watching it. Got some really good licks in.
I'd give it a solid 8.
But some of them just don't translate to watching it live to talking about it afterwards.
We just need to start doing the Mystery Science Theater ripoff.
Maybe. We very well might. I think I'm going to give it like 25 episodes and just see how it goes. And if there's any demand for it at all, yeah, we'll do it. Because there's nothing. It's just me putting a TV in this room. That's it.
Right.
That's all it requires.
Just move a couple guitars.
Don't touch my guitars.
I will fucking murder you.
We'll just move your microphone.
We'll just move you outside.
The guitars stay where they're at. It was a pretty fun movie to make fun of.
It was.
Half of what I enjoyed about making fun of it was the fact that it was all over the place. And like 7 different times during the film, you could be like, what the fuck is this supposed to be about again? Like, wasn't it? Weren't they talking like, if you didn't pause the movie and you got up to go piss and you came back, you missed it.
Like it was about fast food for a while.
Yeah.
And then
corporations
for a little bit.
And then the art of selling stuff.
And then, and
then also history.
He was a history buff.
Yeah.
And
then biblical texts.
Yep.
It's just fucking all over the place. It's real weird. It was not great. Won't watch it again.
No?
Nah. No, I'm not going to revisit Branded.
You're not going to revisit 2012's Branded?
Nope. Not even if Jeffrey Tambor's in it.
I think we should.
You think?
Next weekend.
Maybe we'll come back for our 100th episode.
To revisit Branded.
I don't want to. Yeah, it's. I don't know. It was not good. I don't have anything else to say about it. I think that was a pretty fair assessment of it. I am fairly sauced.
We're done here.
Is there... All right, Branded 2, Electric Boogaloo. Branded 2 Cruise Control.
Branded 2 Endgame.
Breakout. Branded 2 Endgame. Yeah, I don't know. It's a bad movie. We already made a bet a couple of minutes ago, but I can't remember what it was about. It was about like $1,000 or a blowjob or something.
You guys aren't gonna start sucking each other's dicks, are you?
Let's call that gold talk for a one-eyed Batman.
Can I make a suggestion that doesn't involve violence? Or is this the wrong crowd?
Maybe we should call in a bomb threat to Houston. I think it's free beer night at the Astrodome.
The Jedi, Bob, we don't fight with guns, we fight with our mind.
Cousin, business is booming.
That is one big pile of shit.
Jog on.
It's Just Two Movies is a production of Blue Cheese and Bacon Studios and can be found wherever you get your podcasts.